Yesterday was leg day, and I thought all morning that yesterday was chest day, but it was indeed leg day. Leg day has to happen. You gotta do legs. You gotta do it. But we got that out of the way. We did it. We put out as much as we can without injuring ourselves because our back and our left knee was giving us issue again. So I think it's because I didn't warm up properly. I know I should have. I know what I need to do to warm up properly, but I just didn't do it. Anyway, today though is my favorite day, and I think it's also everyone else's favorite day. Typically though, Monday is National Universal Chest Day. Everyone does chest day on Monday. Typically also on Tuesday and Thursday. The majority of like young kids that go in who haven't been lifting for very long, they go in and almost every day is chest day. Now I understand it, but can I be honest with you? The only people who care about a big chest, really, is dudes. It's just dudes. Women don't really notice that kind of thing. I mean, they notice, but you know what they'd rather you have? A big donk. Big, powerful tree trunk legs. Because that's something they actually understand. If you ever watch women, now I'm not saying go watch women at the gym, but if you ever just notice what they're doing in there, what are they doing? They're primarily doing hip thrusts, right? For that big booty glute pump. They're doing squats for that big booty glute pump. They're also getting those big quads. I mean, god dang. A tan girl with big quads and a big ass, bro. Don't even get me started. Good lord. So that's primarily what they're doing, right? But when you go in there and do chest all the time, I mean, you're really only doing that for dudes. So I'm gonna go do chest day today. But man, you just gotta have the complete package. So when you're in there working out, just don't forget to do legs. Leg day sucks. I know. Leg day's bullshit. But when you've got big juicy quads, you know, those hanging hamstrings that come down like that, I mean, I ain't gay, but I might be able to be convinced. Excuse me. So whenever I say whatever whenever I say, oh, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna do that at the gym, I'm usually about 50% accurate. I'll do half the things I say I'm gonna do. And it's just because, one, I forget what we talked about on the ride over. Two, there just might not be a bench, a machine, or whatever available for what I'm trying to do. Especially on Wednesday, it was like everybody and their mom was doing back day. So it was really hard for me to get in what I wanted to do. So you kind of have to accommodate, you know, part and parcel. The gym I go to isn't a big gym. It's about, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. It's under 10,000 square feet, I bet. I mean, it's called Malala Cutting Edge Fitness, and for a long time they stagnated until the co-owner bought out the other co-owner, and now he's the primary. and he's really bringing in a lot of cool stuff. So we have a lot of new Life Fitness cardio that he put upstairs, and they're nice, dude. They got wireless charging on them, so you can put your phone on it. You can link your Netflix account to it, watch Netflix on it. There's an app that doesn't really work all that great that I've found. I can't even get it to connect. So we might try again today with our 30 minutes of cardio that we do up there. Let's see, he got new tanning beds. 2 new tanning beds. The other ones were like from the 90s. So yeah, he wants to get rid of some of the old machines that are in there. There's like the donkey kick machine that's only chicks really use, but there's better usage of that space. There's the Good Girl Bad Girl machine that he wants to replace. I don't know how I feel about that machine. It doesn't really get your glute as much as it gets your your outer glute. There's no inner glute activation, you know? That's gonna come from your lunges, your split squats, your squats. You might be able to do some kettlebell stuff to really focus on your glutes. I've noticed with me, if I want to do glute work, I've got to focus on glute. I got to put my brain in my butt. So let's say I'm doing sumo squat. Ooh, that's gravel. Gotta be careful. When I'm doing sumo squat, I've noticed, that's where the whole mind-muscle connection thing comes in. If I am putting my brain in my butt cheeks to force them to activate, then I get a nice booty butt pump. Otherwise, my quads take over. And so, yeah. Anyway, I need to get my hip abductors and adductors a little bit more used to putting in work, because they're I think what is holding me back. That plus my back. Whose dog is that? It might be their dog. He's out here on the road though. There's so many farm animals and just dogs out on the road all the time out here anyway that most people pay attention. In town, there's a lot of visibility. There's not a lot of blind corners or anything. I don't think there's any actually. But as soon as you go up Sawtell or Wilhoit, you got wooded blind corners. It's a forest up there. But yeah. So anyway, I think what we'll do is we'll start with, and I'm just going to be completely honest with myself. If it's available, incline bench press, barbell press, and then move over into flat dumbbell fly, and then probably a pretty exaggerated incline dumbbell press, borderline shoulder press. Just because I'm trying to fill up those that lower clavicle area, you know what I mean, that upper pec. It's been so lacking. It was almost like it was caved in for the majority of my life, and so that's coming in. Then I've done on the hammer strength flat bench machine. I've been coming at it at an angle and pushing like this. Really get a nice contraction on my pecs that way. And I think after that we'll go with a cable fly just to finish it off, polish it off, force a shit ton of blood into them titties. And let's see. Oh, and I can't forget, on chest day I always do a shoulder press, regardless. I could have done a million incline press. I'll still go in there and hit that shoulder press. I'm trying to get them anterior delts to just explode. What's this Mustang doing? They don't know. Old person? Sorta. It's one of those guys that just seems like they just like own the world. You know what I mean? You know the type? Ooh, we're coming up on a newer Corvette. Well, if you're going to cut in front of me, I shouldn't have to slow down. There's no one behind me. If you're in such a hurry, is that the new Corvette, the rear engine? I think so. Oh, sounds good, girl. God dang. That's the Bentleys. They own the local feed shop. I haven't been in a while. I need to stop in and say hi. Probably do that after this. Anyway, let's get in there, slaughter our carcass, you know, kill the bitch inside, kill the inner bitch, make them scream and cry. And oh, I forgot to do a little transition thing. Let's try it like this. Transition. See how that transition worked out. I feel like that was a good one. Alright. Come on. Not hard. There you go. There you go. Nice. Good job. You did it. Hooray! Does anyone else notice the quality of your average driver has gone down significantly to the point where, I mean, I'm sure a lot of us, especially those of us that ride, were basically brought up our parents told us, or someone told us, just operate under the assumption that everyone's out there trying to get you. Now that's like almost like nefarious. Well, now it feels like everyone's not trying to get you, but it's just like they're gonna. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like they're so incompetent now that the chances of you getting struck, hit, whatever, are so high. It's just scary to be a road goer. Anyway, so today, dude, I don't even know how I'm in the gym for 2.5 to 3 hours. It doesn't feel like it, and my body doesn't feel like I was in there for that long, but I was. And it doesn't matter if it's back, leg, chest, arm, shoulder. It could just be my left pinky day, and I could be in there for 3 dang hours. Now, most of the time, when I'm in there for that long, it's because I was working out my jaw, just chatting. There's a lot of old dudes in there. I did hit the record button, right? Yeah. Okay, making sure. Old dudes in there who just love to chit chat. I believe that their names are Ken and Carl, but I know Ken for a fact. That's his name. The other one, I just call him Carl. Could be Brian, could be Jeffrey, and I don't really know any better. But I'm just in there for so dang minute of it, you know. But I gotta eat, I got to edit, I gotta do the dishes, I gotta, you know, this stuff that I gotta take care of. Anyway, look at me whining. So I did almost exactly what I said on the way in, which was incline press, dumbbell fly, a pretty extreme angle on incline dumbbell press, and then over to the machine, the press machine, where I come in sideways and I push this way. Right, really activates that meat. I did something I didn't talk about. I've been starting to do, I don't know exactly what they're called. I've heard them called German raises, and you can probably imagine why. You come in with you go to the cables, and you grab a rope. I do the double rope. You can grab the single rope, and they call them Germans because if you don't have either of those, you have the just a V handle. You come up like that, right? Now you can imagine why they call them Germans, huh? So I started to incorporate that just for some more anterior deltoid activation. I'm trying to get them freaking Death Star delts with both the shoulders, and they're coming in nicely. I'm very pleased. So I'll probably end up putting up like a physique update periodically. I might do like a weekly one where I don't know if it'll be like a whole video or a slideshow or what it'll be, but I should take the pictures anyway, so that way I have them, and if, you know, at the end of this whole thing, which honestly there is no end when you're all about that gym life, there is no end to it. But anyway, at least I'll have some sort of archaeological evidence, let's say. Koozies on the ground back there. Okay, so next up, food. And today we're gonna have a bowl. Now, we love ramen in my house, and we eat ramen very frequently. To the point where we should probably start making our own. You know, it might save us a little bit. I don't know how to tackle the whole flavoring thing and the dehydrated meat thing. But at the same time, we add meat from the previous night's meal, supper, dinner, whatever you want to call it. So last night, we had chicken. And so we'll probably add, or I will definitely add chicken, soft-boiled eggs, into my ramen. And my wife can never finish her bowl, so I'll finish off her bowl as well. Now, my issue with the whole thing is that it's pretty processed, you know. Now I'm not saying I'm like a Jay Cutler eating 5,000, 6,000 to 10,000 calories a day like Brian Shaw, but you know, when you're trying to gain muscle and mass, you've got to eat. That's the number one thing. People say their arms can't grow. Oh, because you're not eating enough. And if you're eating enough still and you still can't grow, well then you're cooked, bud. You know? So when you're eating a lot, you gotta start to watch what you eat, especially your sodium. Now sodium is good for you. That's how your muscles do what they have to do. It's how so one of the ways, the primary way your body retains moisture. Right? And when you start to eat a lot, you end up eating, especially with processed foods, is a lot of sodium. You know, look at your standard bowl of chili. It's gonna probably have 2 grams of sodium in it. And that's just that one can. You know, you start to get up there in caloric intake, you start looking at all this stuff, you could end up having 10 grams. Oh, that deer is going to explode. You could end up having 5-10 grams of sodium. You know, and I don't know the health risk to that. I mean, I know just on its own, eating that much sodium is not good for you. When you're in the gym pushing yourself, which you should be sweating. That's a lot of salt right there. You're utilizing sodium every time you fire off your muscles. And you're drinking a shit ton of water, I would hope. You know? And it should all balance itself out, but I don't know that sweet spot, right? So I might figure it out one day. I might learn a thing or two about it. I should take an nutrition class, honestly. But yeah. So anyway, we want to start making our own. I don't know what I'll do with flavoring. I would definitely get myself a bunch of monosodium glutamate. The ostracized chemical MSG, which is basically just powdered flavor. It's not that bad for you. It's not bad for you, I don't think. Not nearly as bad as they were saying. Just like how they said aspartame was going to give you holes in your brain back in the 90s, early 2000s, they were saying that. And then after that, the next fear-mongering thing was MSG. You shouldn't have MSG. They took MSG out of everything. Just goes to show how stupid we are. You know, no one really looks into anything. They just heard it, read it in Vogue magazine, and it just becomes fact. So anyway, we're going to get in there. We're going to slam some food. I'm going to throw this up in the computer machine, edit it, and it might go out this evening, if I remember. Otherwise, it's going to go out tomorrow. Anyway, deuces.